Hey, are any of you Castlevania fans? I'm a huge Castlevania fan. In fact, it is one of my favorite video game series, if not my favorite video game series. Now, Castlevania 3 is one of my favorite games in the series, and I want to talk specifically about Castlevania 3 and its opening credits. The opening cinematic for Castlevania 3 is one of the most memorable, if not the most memorable opening cutscenes I've ever seen in a video game. And for me, it holds so much nostalgic value. It was my first Castlevania game, and playing it, being able to go across the Transylvania countryside in a quest to destroy and kill Dracula himself. This game was so amazing because I grew up loving horror movies like Dracula and Frankenstein and The Mummy, and it was just so a part of my life. Dad loved horror movies. It was just a huge thing for us.
Tyler loves me. I'm Dracula.
And so to have like classic Hammer and Universal horror movies like bottled up into this video game was just amazing. And mix a little Indiana Jones in there and you've got a recipe for just an amazing Nintendo experience. The opening cinematic for Castlevania 3, when I first booted up my Nintendo cartridge, I'll never forget seeing that scrolling film, like celluloid, just scrolling vertically like an old film in the theater. Watching these images appear of a storyline that is unfolding right before your eyes with that music, this incredible music that felt cinematic. It meant a lot to me. It really pulled me into the story of Trevor Belmont in his quest to fulfill his destiny in the Belmont clan and destroy Dracula. Now that Dracula had returned as it was predestined. To this day, when I watch this opening cinematic, it still gives me goosebumps. Like, let's just listen. Whoa! Like these chord progressions, and it's so funny because I didn't know music, I didn't know how to write music or understand how to read it or anything, but I felt the emotion of these chords being played. And then that kind of arpeggio that happens. This like foreboding, creepy music, and the way the song evolves throughout the course of it, it's crazy where it takes you. It gives you all these feelings. It gives you all these thoughts about what this adventure is going to be like. And I just love it. It may be, in fact, my favorite opening cinematic of any game ever. And there's a moment in the song where it just switches gears into this much more hopeful sounding music. Take a listen. Da 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 na 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 da 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 na na. And then the bass actually drops down there. Like, man. Now the music in this game is just phenomenal. The rest of the soundtrack is what made me also fall in love with Castlevania, was just how incredible the music for each game was. But something that blows my mind is that all those years growing up playing this game, I had no idea there was a completely enhanced version of this soundtrack that was released in Japan. And when I first heard the way it sounded in the Japanese version of the game, it was like my mind was blown. I couldn't believe I'd missed out for so many years on a better version. different instruments. There's more channels that the extra chip that they put in the cartridge is able to use. And I'm like, come on, Konami, couldn't you have sprang for a better chip in the cartridge for added sound? Man, it would have been great to have this version. What's great though is that this Japanese version of the game with the enhanced music is on the Castlevania Anniversary Collection that came out on the Switch eShop and also PS4 and Xbox One. So that is super cool that we get to own this game now and play it and hear this incredible music in all of its glory. Well guys, that's it for today. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my favorite opening cinematic, probably in any game ever, and definitely my favorite opening cinematic for Castlevania games. Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, the opening music and cinematic is pure Nintendo 8-bit gold. Hey, if you have not subscribed yet, please do hit that like button. And hey, I want to know, what do you guys think of this song and this opening cinematic? Does it blow your mind like it does mine? I am forever grateful that my parents bought me Castlevania 3 when I was a small child, because I heard this at a very informative age and it stayed with me ever since. I'm Tyler, you're watching My Retro Life, and I hope to catch you next time.